Yes, you're responsible for external iliac and internal iliac. But after it's split later on, you're not responsible for that. Now the veins. So what is this, by the way? It helps you because it shows the valves. So this would be what? The pulmonary trunk, because here's the pulmonary valves. So going up, hello, 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 this would be the superior vena cava. That's the superior vena cava. Going up, not to be confused with this. Once you see the valves, you know it's not the superior vena cava. That's the superior vena cava. And these will be the jugular veins. We are not worried about external and internal. There's jugular veins, right and left jugular veins. See, they run along the carotid. So somebody said, I'm going to get in your jugular. That is the vein that is running alongside your carotid. So these are the jugular veins. And look what is happening now. These are, by the way, when it comes up, it's called the right and left brachiocephalic vein. Right and left. So we don't have a left brachiocephalic artery, but we have a right and left brachiocephalic vein, and it branches into the right and left jugular. What I'm interested in is here. It makes a curve. So what is this now? Running along the shoulder. Where you have a vein, you must have an artery. Where you have an artery, you must have a vein. So if it's running alongside the subclavian artery, what is the name? Subclavian vein. It runs alongside the subclavian artery. That's why the veins are getting easier now. Runs alongside the subclavian artery. It's called the subclavian vein. And now it comes into the upper arm. If this is the brachial artery, what is this? Brachial vein. Go up to the armpit. If this is the axillary artery, this becomes what? Axillary vein. But here's a very important one that is testable. This branches off from the subclavian. It goes wide. And this is you don't have an artery there. This is called the cephalic vein, and that's testable. See, it leaves from here, from the subclavian, and it goes very wide. So expect it to be on the test. That is the subclavian vein. So again, take your sheet and see what we're responsible for. Right and left superior vena cava. Here's the superior vena cava coming up. You have the brachiocephalic veins that becomes the jugular. And we stop there. Here is the subclavian vein that runs alongside the subclavian artery. Goes down to become the axillary vein. And this one that goes wide is actually the cephalic vein. So we must highlight the cephalic vein. And now, what is this going down now? Running alongside the descending aorta, what is this? The inferior vena cava. The inferior vena cava runs alongside the descending aorta. And if this is going to the kidney, what is it called? If we have a renal artery going to the kidney, that would be the renal vein. So wherever you have an artery, there's going to be a vein. Here is the renal vein going to the kidney, and it goes further down and it splits in the groin. So what would this be again? Common iliac vein. Common iliac artery becomes the common iliac vein. And it's going to split to become what? External iliac and internal iliac vein. And this vein goes down into the leg and becomes what? So this one goes a little bit wide. That's the femoral vein. Now, here's the vein that goes all the way down to the toes. And for the lecture, it's the longest vein in the human body. What is it? The great saphenous vein. So here's the great saphenous vein. Testable. For the lecture, the question is, what is the longest vein in the human body? And it would be the great saphenous vein. And here it is now, and we're done with the veins. Let's repeat. And I'll show you the other models that is going to be used on the test. So here is the superior vena cava that goes up to be the right and left brachiocephalic. Then they become the right and left jugular. This is what we're interested in. If you know the subclavian artery, this is going to be what? Subclavian vein. Now, if this hits